Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner, welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. It's time for the trial, so let's go. Everyone's already here.
So is everybody ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nutjob? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time. Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
Yeah, she's probably Genocide Jack or something like that. There's that whole promise with Byakuya that I find weird. And just like he said a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you drag a girl around. Terrible? You're terrible.
Ooh, so now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the roads. I'll see you guys down there.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. I guess I wasn't much help at all on this one. Hey hey hey. Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Shall we begin? You ready? We doing this? I will uncover the villain who performed such heinous acts on a weaker individual. Okay, let's go. We have no choice, right? We have to do this. Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop.
What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Good, good, you're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all. Okay then, let's get this show on the roads. Everyone, please find your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Okay, we can save here. It's time for the prep. Okay, we can see our things, but I saw them last episode, so I remember. Kind of. We can check, we can use our skills. Let's see. Is this selected? No, this is selected, cool, and composed. We have a new one, Neural Liberation. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during non-stop debate, Hangman's Gambit, and the bullet time battle. Cool. We have Melodious Voice. Oh, increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. Cool. We have 3 skills, but we're using a lot of skill points now, so cool. It's time for the trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment, but if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then, so first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Isn't that one easy? Okay, we have these bullets. Genocide Jack case file, desk lamp. Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound. According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument, but what kind of blunt instrument? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon. Poor Chihiro. No, none of this. Let's go forwards. I missed! No, not an iron pipe! I should use focus. Really should use focus. No, I contradict the iron pipe. No, the contradiction is the iron pipe. Never mind. No. Objection! Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury. And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one. You looked at her head wounds? Yeah, that's so creepy. If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprits. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is actually quite clear. What, for real? Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer Genocide Jack. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Well, it's set to mean. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so let's hear what they have to say. We have the case file, the desk lamp and the dumbbell. The culprit is Genocide Jack, I'm sure of it. Case closed as far as I'm concerned. But that's impossible. Why? What makes it impossible? Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it. Hey, so speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is. The evidence that shows Genocide Jack is related to the case. It has to be the case file. So we shoot that there's no proof. There's no proof? Objection. I might know one reason he could be involved. What? I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case. What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What would something like that doing in the library? The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder. Oh, that's right. Booblust. No, it's actually bloodlust. But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public. Never made public? What the hell is it? Why don't you tell them, Makoto? The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know how the victim was positioned. Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department. However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. I don't agree. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack. No fucking way. You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us? Yes, in fact, it's Toko. What? Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa. You lie. What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood? Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no. Another riddle, man, why is this gotta be so complicated? It does seem like a riddle in a way, but I feel like I can just about see it. Genocide Jack is Toko, but isn't Toko. What does it mean? Oh, Hangman's Gambit. Here we go. What am I writing? 4 letters. Can I pause? Okay, I can pause. So, H-I in the middle. She has double personality. So, what could I spell with that? What did it say? What would I write with that? 6 letters. The middle 2 are H-I. S-I-B-O-Z. There's a lot of S, I's, and O's. Okay, the first one is S. So we need a vowel. And I'm really not seeing it. So, he... Sahi... Maybe a C? Oh, schizo? Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality? I thought about schizophrenia, but there were only 6 letters, and I just thought it was weird. Huh? I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder. Okay, but still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. I mean, she fainted doesn't prove it, she arrived late doesn't prove it. Her behavior changed? I mean, the one thing that shows Toko could have a split... You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right? That's right. Think back, she fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and when she woke up. I'm fine, I'm fine. Kyaha. Oh, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? Ha ha ha. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and web of lies. This is quite concerning, I mean, she sounds completely different. She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared. Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission. Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can. So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack. I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiends. The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out. What? Toko was afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her, of killing even more people. How? Yeah, how can you know all this? I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No, what she wants to know is, how could you tell them? Huh? Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said the murderous fiend lived within her, and it was definitely Byakuya. Byakuya killed her. Byakuya killed Chihiro. And since he knows this, he's trying to frame Toko. Calling it right now. And that trepidation is what caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko? Ah! This is all a lie, right, Toko? You said you wouldn't tell anyone. What? You promised? I can't believe you lied. You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Ga. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise... I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again. You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me? That's the only reason I promised? How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you? I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but your efforts were useless. What a disappointment. I hate you. Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly. The person? You don't mean... Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next seconds... Genocide Jill. Well, hello there. Is it me or you were hoping to see? Yeah, what the hell? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack, or better yet, let's go Genocide Jill. What the fuck is this? Toko, what happened to you? Not Toko, what a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults. Ha 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 ha. She's so intense, man. Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body. This one is so different from the one we've come to know. Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom. Or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun. Yeah, ha ha ha. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane. Miss Jack or Jill, can I ask you a question? What's up? Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that? But I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds. Just kidding. Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again, ha 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 ha! This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt. A motive? Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. Oh, you are a clever bastard, Byakuya. But I'm about to put you down. So, she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed. Interesting, very very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not a culprit. Huh? But I can imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth. Do you really expect any of us to believe you? Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Oh yeah, let's get Byakuya. You're going down, buddy. Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone. You say that, but do you really expect us to believe it? Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking? When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches, it does not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Give it up, you killed her. No, the status of that body. Is Genocide Jack really the killer? I feel like something doesn't match up. No, status of the dead body. The modus operandi isn't the same. It does not match. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. Huh? How's it any different? Oh, I don't know. Well then, human garbage, let me tell ya. I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine. Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. There's one clear difference between the murders, the victim's fatal injury. For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right? Ah yes, that is remarkably different from the other murders. Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their methods? And there's one more conflicting detail. That's right, in my recipe for murder, if the bloody messages is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce. Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged? That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended, what was used. Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They'd used some kind of rope to hang her up by the wrists. What is your point? Well, in all the previous genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors. And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangements. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong. Big Mac, are you referring to me? Listen up, Big Mac, there's actually one more difference. Huh? My words, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each genocide Jack case. Only men. I knew it, I called it. There's a pattern there just waiting to be discovered. A pattern? Figure that out and it'll be plain as that why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl. Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the genocide Jack victims and Chihiro didn't fit it. I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Because Chihiro was a girl. Was she really though? I guess we'll find out later. Is it because Chihiro was a girl? Bingo, bullseye, right on the money. What are you talking about? In all the genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common. Ken Harada 32, Tetsuhiro Honda 17, Shoji Gaku 23, Kano Issei 14, Takeshi Yoshida 30, Komatsuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naoya, Takeshi Masamue, Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it. They were all guys. That's right, the people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men. I can't believe it, I said it, I'm so embarrassed. The hell is wrong with you? I can't help it, I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hits it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam. So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her? Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only. We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy, but that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely when you're forced to kill in order to survive. Quiet, Lollicur. Lollicur? I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It would make me the obvious suspect. That does make some amount of sense. Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big stupid heavy dumbbell? Maybe you use the dumbbell cause you couldn't find any scissors in the school. No, the girls have a sewing kit. Any scissors? I don't use just any scissors. I only use my own set of high class envy of the entire world scissors. Okay, whatever, there still aren't any in the school. Are you sure about that? Da 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 da. Ah, she's fully equipped. That's right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my sides? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention I have no clue how to tie a good knot, so rope's totally out of the question anyway. Ah, I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent? But the body really is suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that. Yeah, that's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever. Actually, hold on. There is one person. And that's Byakuya, you bastard, I got you now. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. I got you now, you bastards. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you? Are you saying Mr. Togami did it? Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her. So he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I'd put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. I am on fire. Well, Byakuya, what's your response? I see, so now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer. Looking back and thinking about it now. The way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. And the locker rooms? They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh, suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy, I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room. We didn't know it was Chihiro. Nothing strange about that, I'd say. On the contrary, there's something very strange. Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class. There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been... Okay, new elements, absolutely. Next we're going to add something called the truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize the different weak spots and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Flashback, huh? So how do I use that? Monokuma file 2. Let's see, anything about flashbacks in here? Target the weak spot and hold down the left mouse button. So you said Byakuya was acting kinda weird before we found the body, but he was acting weird how? If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girl's locker room, you absolutely take it. That's a natural reaction for any guy. The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl, so of course I would suggest we check the girl's locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that? I wish you'd taken me with you. Okay, so we get this one before we found the body. And we move on to when he says that the victim was Chihiro. Objection! I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girl's locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up. I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us. What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it. There is, I think. There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there. Oh, proof that I'm the culprit, you mean? The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? We have the lamp, Celeste's account, and the stain. What, the difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not? That's right, it absolutely was. Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope. Hey Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh? I'd never seen that rope before in my life. You have seen... Ah, damn it. We need to... Obviously somebody else must have had hidden it away. No. That's actually rather fast. So... Oh. Damn it! There's the white noise. Maybe I'll shoot it with the silencer first. Just so I can start the bullet time earlier. Ah, damn it! I skipped it. Yeah, I skipped it. Wasn't paying attention. Okay. Time is running. We're running out of time. There we go. Objection! Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because you see that rope, or should I say, that extension cord? What? An extension cord? Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact. Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility. That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this. I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? No, he didn't kill her in the girls' locker room. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved? What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened. Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya is the killer. I don't disagree with not disagreeing. He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win. Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more. Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it. I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me. Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you? Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Byakuya's remarks just now, there's something in there that concerns me, the scene of the crime. You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else? How disappointing! What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointment, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else? Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene. The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that. I believe I do. Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now. Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else. Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else? Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. I need to just focus on those things that got switched. So we have the posters. The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room. Your proof is some posters. The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel, but don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that? I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake, hahaha. Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room. So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched. And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura? You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you? Protein coffee.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away. No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. No, not this. No, not this item. No, 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 no. Wait, where's the stain? Ah, it's carpet. Okay. The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet. That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee. Then, does that mean the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that? To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other, it's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place. I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that? Huh? Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question, if the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you where it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up, I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Okay, your reasoning is going to be stupid. Because the broken e-handbook is broken.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah, I've got it. She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her. No, I don't think that's it, man. She used the thing that was in the main hall. Ah, what thing? I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. No, it's broken.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh, well then yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I'm struck silent by how quickly you gave up. Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow that person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway. So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Bzzz, you can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring. So she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room, so I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you though, I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say?
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So... Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access. What? What are you talking about? What other way is there? Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait, just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry, this'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, alright then, I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you wanna show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations, so shall we go?
Danganronpa.